What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Earth, Wind, and Fire, and big shout out to Adam, who's made a couple of their albums available, as well as Kim, who had suggested one of their tunes in an earlier playlist I did that was curated by Kim, as well as a handful of others who've commented on the 2 Earth, Wind, and Fire reactions I've done thus far, and who encouraged me that, this is, one of the biggest groups and, one of the most dynamic bands in terms of their stylings and music composition and so on. So definitely this seems like it will be a fruitful journey, and I will go through whatever material I can get access to. And again, thank you to Adam in that regard. But yes, we're returning to Head to the Sky 1973, and this is, for all intents and purposes, the title track, Keep Your Head to the Sky, which sounds like, on the surface of it, a sentiment of, keeping your chin up, not looking down or getting caught, feeling bad or, being troubled and sort of looking down and inward. Now, it feels also like there could be a spiritual sort of sentiment, the idea of, again, looking to the sky, looking to the heavens, if you will, and thus whether it's looking for inspiration or guidance or solace or salvation, I feel like the phrase could work in that context. Perhaps it'll function on multiple levels. Again, I'm very early in my journey through this group, having only heard a couple songs, and even though I've been aware of the name for a very long time, those who saw my first reaction will be aware I had a mistaken understanding. I thought they maybe had like a folk rock type of sound, at least, as their sort of main style, but I've come to understand that there's a soul funk flavor to a lot of their music, so yes, I have a bit of a reframing in that regard, but as I said, I'm still very new to their music and their songwriting and so on, so I will continue to learn as we go along. And for anyone new here, when I go through these deep dives, especially of groups that I'm not really familiar with at all, I tend to think about not only associations, they kind of remind me of them and so on, which is just based on the way my brain works. It's in no way meant to suggest that, they took stylings from this other group. It's just a matter of association. And I always think about titles in advance, what may be on offer. I hypothesize about the meaning, but I will still try to catch what I can on a first listen and interpret. Let's listen to it. This is Earth, Wind, and Fire. The tune is Keep Your Head to the Sky from the album Head to the Sky, 1973. Guitar, it almost has a sitar type quality to it.
To the sky for the clouds. understand. Also, we're just saying for you to hear. Keep your head and face atmosphere. Keep your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky. Don't walk around with your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky.
Wow. So it got me with the false ending after the first one, and then after the second one I knew it was going to come back, and I figured it would be higher, but then it was like they were all harmonizing at the highest end of the falsetto range. That was crazy. So yes, again, it's got that smooth, soulful atmosphere throughout the tune. I love the vocals, of course, and in terms of the lead vocal, I do enjoy the high falsetto moments, but I like the verses were almost like sung falsetto, but in like a lower falsetto register. I realize that doesn't really make sense. It's almost like contradictory, but it was like a slightly lower, but still very high vocal character or quality, and I especially enjoyed those lines. It just has a really smooth and soulful feel. Sonically, again, it's dynamic. There's some different elements, some guitar that has a bit of a bluesy feel, but also that guitar which was like a bit distorted, or as I said, it almost sounded like a sitar, like a bit of an Eastern feel to it. And I enjoy the drums, again, dynamic, like the specific configuration shifting, sometimes the ride cymbal standing out, sometimes these like rolls and fills at the measure changes, just really having a nice dynamic quality. So great percussion over the course of the tune, and yeah, again, a mellow kind of laid back atmosphere overall. And lyrically, I do think it is a very spiritual type of thing, the idea that you've got to have faith to understand, and looking up to the sky, keeping your head up to the sky so that the clouds can tell you why. So it feels like it's not being overly specific with the spiritual understandings or forms, but in general, the idea that, part of being a man, or, fulfilling your particular journey, your individual growth, and, playing the role that you are supposed to be playing, I suppose in some like teleological sense, it's about, again, being keyed into taking inspiration and understanding from, and finding refuge and solace in the heavens, the sky, the clouds. So yeah, I think on some level my thoughts in advance were at least heading in the right direction. I think there's probably more specific details here that over multiple listens I will pick up on. But again, for those of you new to the channel, that's always how I've listened to music. When I get a CD or a record, I put it on, I listen to it, I let it sort of wash over me. And for a lot of songs, I'll hear a few lines, I'll get a sense of what it's about. In some cases more or less. Some cases I hear a lot very clearly early on. Some cases I only hear some phrases and tidbits here and there. But generally speaking, I hear some of the lines, some of the words. I listen more times, over 5, 6, 7 listens. Generally, or in most cases, I tend to pick up on most of the lines, and I really get a sense of what the song is saying, and whether that's based on a specific background of the songwriter, whether it's making a broader point, about humanity, society, culture, whatever it is. I tend to start to get a better understanding, and then if after, again, a half dozen or so listens, I still am wondering, like, what is that one word or what's that one line? Then I'd look in the pamphlet, or, in more recent times I'd look online and just sort of fill in any gaps that may remain. But as I've begun to do these YouTube videos in the last now about 3.5 years, that kind of information tends to come to me more quickly, because people will either, write out the lyrics, or, give me a clearer insight of where the song came from. So it's a more like conversational, interactive process now, which I very much enjoy. So yes, shout out to all those who've been following my channel the last few years and who have taken interest in this deep dive. Shout out to those who may have joined specifically because of this deep dive. Let me know what you think of the tune. Shout out to Adam once again, and I will see you next time. Peace.